And just make your way to a comfortable place. And let your eyes close. And maybe if it feels good to you right off the bat, have your arms open to a T or like cactus arms, or just wide instead of right next to you, starting to introduce some opening in the chest, in the tops of the arms to the elbow. And let your legs be however you want your legs to be, whatever feels nicest for your back. And come into your deepest breath. Let the first couple be leading up to your deepest breath. And once you've established this big, full, wide, deep breath, find 5 rounds of that. Just filling up in between your ribs, all the way down to your belly, all the way under your collarbones. And maybe even at the top of the breath, take in one more little sip. See if you can get just the teeniest little bit more in before you empty. And if you have your arms out to a T, once you finish that 5th exhale, bring your arms down by your sides and bring your heels in where you would put them for a bridge. So maybe not line up right with your sitting bones. It might feel more comfortable to be a little bit wider. So wherever you always put your feet for a bridge. And take hold of the edges of your mat this time. And as you press into your heels to lift your hips for a bridge, pull wide on the mat, like you're trying to tear the mat in half. Maybe even lift your toes off of the ground so you're really just pressing into heels. And press into your shoulders too. So you have the whole imprint of your arm from your shoulder all the way down to your pinky in the mat, and just those 2 dots for your heels. Exhale, round down. And let your toes return, let your grip kind of release. Maybe just the tiniest little side to side of your knees. And we'll do that 2 more times. So take a big inhale breath. And on your exhale, press into your heels, lift your toes, squeeze your buns, and pull your mat apart. So that goes to activate your upper body too, and really establish this firm foundation of your arms, your shoulders, and your heels. Maybe lift your hips up another inch. And if your knees feel like they want to fall out a little bit, or your toes turn out some when you lift, let them do that. Keep some firmness in the inner thighs though too, but not the action of pulling knees together. Just the action of the whole leg working at once. Exhale, round down. And then again, release the grip on your mat. Find a little soothing rock from hip to hip. And last time, press into your heels, lift your hips, hold your mat, pull it apart, press your shoulders down into your mat, press your heels, lift your hips a little higher. And then do all that again. Press your heels, lift your hips, pull your mat, press your shoulders. Big inhale, breath. And exhale, round down. You can let go of your mat and really find a bigger windshield wiper here, side to side, rolling all the way to the outer edges of the hip. And leave your feet where you are, knees pointing up to the sky. Arms up straight to the ceiling, and then hug yourself. It doesn't matter which arm is underneath at this time because we'll do both. Just remember which one it is. And then maybe if you can hold on to your shoulders or your shoulder blades, do that. But a super light grip. And use your right foot to press into and roll up onto your left shoulder. So if your fingers get in the way, just move them out of the way. Roll back to center, press into your left heel and roll all the way up onto your right shoulder. Like not all the way to your side, but so you're kind of balancing in that space underneath your shoulder blade and on the inner edge of your shoulder blade. Do that rock from side to side slowly and deliberately, pressing into alternating feet a few times. So rolling it up onto the left, through the middle and over to the right. And just kind of taking note on what you feel pressing into your muscles, into your bones on the way side to side. I have my right arm underneath, and I notice that between my right shoulder blade and my spine is maybe this huge boulder. I don't even know what that is. So I'll be curious to see what happens when I switch arms. If my left arm is underneath, if that will show up on my left side, or if it really is just like this huge knot in the right. Come back into center. Send your fingertips up to the sky and then switch your hug. And then do the same. Press into a foot, roll up onto the shoulder blade, and back and forth. Nope, it's just the muscles on my right side. So just taking note of all of these things. There's really no judgment to be made there. It's just that we use our bodies in certain ways and have preferences. I use my right side more often. It's my dominant side, so it would stand to reason that that was happening. But also, if I find imbalances, it's something to take a look at. Maybe incorporating more movement on my left side. One more time to each side. And then come back into center. Leave your arms the way that they are and just turn your head from ear to ear. And unwind your arms, pull your knees into your chest, and give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe even let the knees come out toward your armpits, so it's kind of like a happy baby, to get some sensation in the inner thighs. See what happens when you flex your feet. And actually, let's just go ahead and come into happy baby and rock from either elbow to elbow or knee to knee, depending on what lands first. Letting your tailbone be heavy here. And then we'll stop in the center, release your feet, hug your knees, and rock up into seated, where we'll come either into fire log, which is, shins stacked, which is not a possibility for me. So lining your shins up one in front of the other. So not Sukhasana where feet are tucked, but where feet have walked away from the body and they're more like the inside shin is more parallel to the top of the mat. And then that front shin is maybe even angled away from you. Let's go right leg in front. I don't know if I said that or not. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring your hands to the floor in front of you and stay long in the spine. Walk forward until you get to that place where keeping the spine long is no longer an option, and round your chin down. 2 full breaths here. Keep your legs the way that they are. Walk yourself up and bring your hands to your knees. Sit up tall. Take a tilt forward like you're gonna fold all the way forward, but stop when your hips catch. You may get more sensation in one or the other. But press into your right hand and find a twist. So look up over your right shoulder as you press your right hand into your right knee. And just notice what's happening there. You can also press left hand into left knee. I don't know how much that'll change for you. It might change a lot. Inhale here. And exhale, unwind yourself, come back upright and switch your fire log. So again, right shin is parallel, and then maybe that left shin is kind of angling away from you if you, or you might have the left foot stacked on top. And inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Spine stays long, long, long until you just can't keep it that way anymore. And then you round, maybe chin comes to chest. And settle here. One more full breath. Walk yourself up, hands to your knees. Find that tilt forward, press into your left knee, and look up over your left shoulder. One more breath. unwind, make your way to center and then to tabletop. And into cat and cow. Just as slowly as you like. Just exploring that open front line in your cow. And open back line in your cat. And find yourself in neutral. And in our one and only down dog for the practice. So we're gonna stay here for 5 full breaths. Keep that, your breath as your anchor, but feel free to move if moving is something that you're interested in. But let the breath be the focus, even if you're moving around. And then look up to your thumbs, step your right foot outside your right hand, and lower your left knee. Slide your blocks stacked on top of each other to the inside of your right foot. And for now, it doesn't matter what your back foot is doing. We'll come up into a higher lunge here in a second. So do what you like with your left foot. Bring your left hand to your stacked blocks and your right hand to your right knee. And we'll do that same twist that we did in that fire log pose. Press into your knee, press into both hands actually, and look up over the shoulder. And then without changing anything else, look down toward your back foot. And look back up to the sky. Unwind. Bring both hands to your blocks. Turn your back toes under, straighten your back leg, and straighten your front leg. So you're in this kind of a pyramid, a little bit of a changed pyramid, and lift your right toes. Pull your left hip forward. See what happens there. Then lower your right toes first, then your left knee. Then step yourself back into child's pose. However you want arms and legs to be here. 2 breaths. Come back up into tabletop and step your left foot to the outside of those blocks. Right hand to the blocks, left hand to the top of the left knee. Find your twist. Use the hands as leverage for this twist. Change your eye gaze and maybe even a dip of your chin to look toward your right foot. Come back into center, both hands to the block, back toes turn under and the back leg comes straight. Straighten the front leg, lift the toes. And pull the right hip forward. without letting left toes fall out to the side. And then lower the foot, lower the knee. Come back to kneeling, slide your blocks out of the way and into child's pose. Find a breath. Press yourself up. Come to seated. And roll yourself down super duper duper slowly, slowly, slowly. Once you arrive to your back, just take a beat here. Let your body settle. Pull your heels in toward your seat. Hop your hips to the right. Pull your knees to your chest and let your knees fall to the left. Come into this twist in the way that it works for you. Maybe putting your hand on the outside of the leg. Maybe reaching that right arm out on a diagonal. But how it makes the most sense for you. And one more breath. Come back into center, hop your hips into the middle, then to the left. Knees up over the hips and fall to the right. And one more breath. And we'll come into the center, realigning your spine, pull your knees into your chest. Do what you do before you Shavasana. Maybe legs up the wall, maybe moving ankles, moving wrists. And make your way to your back into whatever your Shavasana looks like for today. And let your breath settle. Life comes as is. No warranties, no extra buttons sewn inside the sleeve, no spare tire in the trunk. The twists and turns of circumstance or illness catch us unaware. Each day, 1,000 reasons to despair, lament, forget the reason we are here. And yet, despite the odds, the flame inside of each one of us burns true. Like butterflies emerging from cocoons, we learn to spread our wings and fly. We seek and find the light. This body-mind is born with all that is required to know freedom. Over time, we find life's only guarantee. We cannot be separated from divinity, nor cut off from the source of our supply. Yes, we will age and die, yet that is but a change in form. The essence of us soars as freely as a butterfly over fields of wildflowers. Beauty sipping nectar, blessed and evanescent. In form and essence, we are beauty, whole and simply present. And 2 more breaths where you are. And make your way to your side. And to your seat. And we'll send arms out and up and inhale. And pull hands into heart center. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.